Okay, we're ready to get started. For the record, this is position 30 on my calendar, State of Georgia versus Devin Cooper. Mr. Cooper is charged in warrant number 2022 CW 54164 with committing the offense of hijacking a motor vehicle. He's also charged in warrant number 2022 CW 54140 165 with committing the offense of armed robbery. And finally, he's charged in warrant number 2022 CW 54166. Mr. Cooper is present here in court. He's represented by counsel, who's also present, and the state is here. Ms. Williams, would you please swear your witness in and put on your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Detective Roses, do you mind raising your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
If you could please introduce yourself and where you're currently employed.
Detective Andrea Rosas with the Clayton County Police Department.
And how long have you worked with the Clayton County Police Department?
Approximately 5 years.
So were you working in that capacity on September 5th of this year?
I was.
And were you dispatched during your patrol on that particular day?
No, I didn't get involved until September 8th.
And on September 8th, how did you get involved with this particular case involving Devin Cooper?
I was advised by my lieutenant on shift that Fayette County Sheriff's deputies received a flock kit for a stolen vehicle in which they attempted to stop. However, the driver began fleeing and they engaged in a pursuit and basically had to use 2 pit maneuvers to get the driver to stop. And that is how they made contact with Devin. The vehicle was reported stolen out of our agency from September 5th.
And do you know where the vehicle was stolen from out of our agency on September 5th?
Yes, it was stolen out of Exxon gas station. I can give you the exact numerics. Of 8455 Highway 85 in Riverdale.
And are you familiar with what county that's located in?
Yes, that's in Clayton County.
And at the time the vehicle was stolen, do you know the manner in which the vehicle was stolen or reported stolen?
Yes, the reporting officer was able to get video footage from the gas station showing the victim exiting her vehicle to go into the gas station. When she comes out of the gas station to go back into her vehicle, a black male wearing a hoodie encounters her, has her at gunpoint, demands she give him everything she has. She throws all her belongings towards him. He only grabs the car keys and takes off in her vehicle.
Okay, so just to make sure I'm understanding your testimony correctly, you said that Mr. Cooper, the defendant in this case, he approached the victim at gunpoint. So he did possess a firearm during this incident?
Objection. Yes. That mischaracterizes her past testimony. She never identified Mr. Cooper.
That's sustained. She did not identify Mr. Cooper as the person who took the vehicle.
Yes, Your Honor. Detective Rosas, the person who was apprehended and hit through the Fayette County flock camera, do you know who that was? Who was removed from the stolen vehicle?
Yes, the person located in the stolen vehicle was Devin Cooper.
And was that the same person that was observed in the surveillance camera on the day of that the car was stolen at the Exxon?
From the surveillance camera, you can observe his face. However, he does match the description of the male and had a clothing item that the suspect on the video, similar to, he was also wearing.
But it was, in fact, Mr. Devin Cooper who was caught inside that stolen vehicle on September 8th. Is that correct?
Yes, it was Devin Cooper in possession of the stolen vehicle.
And I want to go back 3 days prior to the day that the actual car was stolen. The man observed in the vehicle, or observed stealing the vehicle. He did possess a firearm at that time. Is that right? Is that
Yes.
your testimony?
Yes, that's correct. That's visible.
And after you stated the victim in this case threw all her belongings when she was held at gunpoint, what did the defendant, or what did the man in the video do after the victim threw all her belongings at him?
He grabbed the car keys, struggled a little bit to make entry, but ultimately made entry into the vehicle and is seen leaving the Exxon in her vehicle.
Okay, so just to clarify, you said he possessed a gun. He did take the vehicle from.
Miss Williams, this is the third time that you're going over the same ground. I heard it the first time.
All right, Your Honor, I'll move on. No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Weinstein?
Yes, Your Honor. I have some questions. Good morning, Detective Rosas.
Good morning.
So you observed the gas station footage, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you see Devin Cooper in the gas station footage?
I saw a male, however, his face is not visible, so I can't testify.
You said that there was an item of clothing that was similar from the video to what Mr. Cooper was wearing.
Yes, sir.
What piece of clothing is that?
A black hoodie.
And what about the hoodie made it similar?
It just was very, it looked like the same hoodie.
What about the hoodie made it look the same?
The color, the style, how it wore on him and how it wore on the individual in the video.
Were there any particular identifying marks on the hoodie? Was there a logo, for example?
No, not that I recall.
So it was a generic black hoodie, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect, Ms. Williams?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. May Detective Rosas be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Detective Rojas, you may be excused. Well, you could stay if you want, or you can leave. You're no longer being compelled to stay here, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Weinstein, I believe you said you're not calling any witnesses, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Williams, are you going to waive opening, or are you going to take opening and closing?
I'll reserve, Your Honor.
Mr. Weinstein, I'll hear from you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, there's really no basis that we've heard this morning to hold this over to find that Mr. Cooper is the individual that allegedly hijacked the victim's car. And a black man wearing a generic black hoodie is not enough to tie Mr. Cooper to this. I'm sure on Highway 5, I cannot imagine how many black men there are wearing black hoodies. It's almost offensive that alone, especially not having seen the face, would be enough to bind this over. There's nothing tying Devin Cooper that's been presented tying Devin Cooper to the gun, to the person that took the keys, to the person that entered the car. I don't need to belabor the point, Your Honor, but that is our position.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe the state has met its burden of probable cause in this case. Detective Rojas did testify that to Attorney Doug's point, yes, there is a lot of people with black hoodies, but there was only one person in a black hoodie driving the stolen vehicle that was stolen out of Clayton County 3 days prior. We had testimony that the car was stolen, obtained from the victim in her presence. at gunpoint, and that the gunpoint was continued to be possessed during the commission of these felonies of armed robbery, and motor vehicle hijacking, and I do believe the state met its burden. Thank you.
Okay, I am going to bind all three charges over to the Superior Court of Clayton County. I'm going to take into account the flight that apparently took place with this vehicle, with the police having to do allegedly having to do two pit maneuvers to bring the vehicle to a stop. I do agree with the testimony about, it is so far as generic as it relates to the identity of the person in the who took the vehicle. But at this stage, I'm going to take those factors into account and bind this over, so at least the jury will have an opportunity to pass on this. Okay, Mr. Weinstein, you may be excused, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Detective Rojas, you may be excused. And the juvenile squad, you can be excused also, and take Mr. Cooper back.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Freeman, are we going to do Mr. James next?
Judge, I believe Ms. Pleasant is
Still speaking to him?
him, and so if you can give us a couple of minutes, we have reached a consent bond with Attorney Miller's case, and that's defendant Hamler.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, with that announcement, Attorney Miller, you can be excused, but I'm going to request that you be responsive to Ms. Freeman so that I can sign off on this and we can all go about our day.
Absolutely, Judge. I'll take care of it as soon as I get it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
And
welcome.
Judge, we're still live on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Tanya.